What's up, guys? This is Eric Vasquez here from teachmetodesign.com, and in today's lesson I want to talk to you about leading the viewer's eye in your design. Now, you may already be doing a few of these things, but sometimes it doesn't always happen intentionally, so I want to cover a couple of different ways or devices that you can go about using and implementing in your work to try and create a more balanced and visually pleasing design. Alright guys, so today we are going to be talking about how to lead the viewer's eye. And when I say that, what do I mean? I'm basically, talking about getting the viewers to look where you want them to look. And there's a few things that you can do to do this, and I'm going to touch on some of those today. And once you kind of are aware of these things, you'll start to look at them and notice them, in visuals and designs kind of all around you. And, after that, the real cool part is once you can actually start doing this yourselves and doing it, intentionally so that you, are fully aware of what you're doing and how you can use these devices to make your work better, right? So the first example is contrast, okay? And this is something where if you're looking at these three black rectangles, which group do you see here that has the most contrast? Obviously it's not this one, right? It's the difference in values. So it's basically, hopefully you said the middle one, where you're noticing that white that really stands out on the black background, right? More so than this one on the left and more so than this one on the right. Now, that's not to say that this one on the right doesn't have any contrast, but this one really gets the job done even better, okay? So another example of this that you can see using colors are in this example where, obviously this green box, there's not much contrast because this is just a slightly different shade of green in the center. The middle one does have some contrast, but this one on the left, uses contrast the most successfully to draw your attention. So between these two, you can kind of see how that works. That's contrast, and that's how you can use that as one way to draw your viewer's attention in your design. All right, the next thing that we're going to look at is scale. Right, and scale, all that means is basically the size of one thing in relation to another in design. Okay, so this works really well with type, like you can see here. Obviously, the first thing that you're going to look at is the word scale up top, as it is the largest and really commands your attention. And then obviously the middle line, and then way down there on the bottom is the line with the least amount of attention drawn to it. So this works really well in layout design, when you have your headline, and then you have, your body copy, or, something like the description below a photo, okay? Another example of that can be seen here, where we're using the same shape, but obviously the largest shape is where you're going to look first, right? These ones in the back, you don't see as much. Then you notice this one, and then you notice, the largest shape first. So if you combine that with contrast, it really pushes this larger shape out even further. So you can see how you can start to actually combine some of these things to really command your viewers' attention and get them to look where you want them to look. And that is all about establishing a visual hierarchy in your design. Okay, so another thing that you can use here is detail, right? So you have two circles that are, exactly the same size. They both use the same gray color, except this one is also using a lighter shade of gray and has more detail in it. So you're going to look there first because it's more just, visual interest. Like this one kind of draws you in a little bit more. And you can also see that here, right? Two, same font, same word and everything like that, but the bottom one just has more detail, and that's going to draw your eye. So these are a few of the ways that you can, direct your viewer's eye and grab their attention in your designs. And what I want to do is take a look at a couple of examples that do this really well. You'll see right here, I've got the poster for the Suicide Squad movie, right? By Works LA, and you can see their work here at worksla.com. And they've got, tons of great movie posters, but what I love about this one is that it's a great use of scale, right? You're zoomed out and you can kind of see that, the X's are the eyes, this is the nose, and all the villains here are kind of making up the mouth or the smile, right? Except for the Joker up here, who is, kind of off doing his own thing. But this is a great example because, again, it's using contrast. You've got, kind of a light bluish green background, and then all these like really dark, figures, along with these, dark paint swatches here. So you're getting contrast, and you're also getting scale, all in one design, right? The next example is the poster for Macbeth. Now this poster was designed by Empire Design, whose work you can see at empiredesign.com. And this is another, in my opinion, a very successful poster, right? It's really interesting, it's really cool, and it's got, a lot going on. So obviously, the first thing you notice is like this burst of color, right? Because it's the only thing that is not black and white. It's got a great amount of contrast going on in the overall image, and you can also see that there are areas of detail that pop out more, right? This is kind of the lightest area, and then you have, Michael Fassbender's face. You've got these stained glass windows, and then you can kind of see these shadowy figures down here. So they're really using this successfully in trying to get your eye to go from, the top, in the middle, and then down here to the title. All right, and lastly, one of my favorite movies ever actually is Kill Bill. And in this example, it wasn't done by an agency, but it was done by a designer, and I apologize if I'm saying your name wrong, Gianmarco Magnani, whose work you can see at silencetv.com, is another example of, he's just got a great eye. But here, you'll see he's using contrast very well, right? Everything is black and white, and then the yellow really pops out at us. So that is definitely, a successful use of this. And, it's an intelligent use of this. He's getting you to look where he wants you to look, and, combining, obviously, also some other things, too. He's got, an interesting composition going on, because you can tell that, there's a few black swords here cutting into the yellow, which also give the illusion that she is, completely surrounded on the bottom. And then the title obviously just pops really nicely off of the black. So these are some examples of, leading the viewer's eye and just seeing it in action. And these are all ways that you guys can start to do this yourselves, and you'll start to notice it more once you kind of know what to look for. So you're not just, designing in a vacuum, but you're designing with purpose and understanding, how these things work and how you can use them to your advantage. So I hope that you have found this useful, and this is just one of the important lessons in design that I'm going to be talking to you guys about. But if you like this video, give us a thumbs up and check us out on YouTube, and be sure to subscribe and sign up for our email list, guys, and let us know how we can help you design better. See you next time.